Hi there and welcome to the Gersnet immediate post-match reaction with myself, Colin Armstrong, Eck Anderson here as well. I need to remember and mention our partners at Forest Precision Engineering. I'm embarrassed now. Forest Precision Engineering, Zenith Coins and football prizes. So Rangers 2, Dundee Utd 1. But it was fucking
Take
hard.
that, we're back. Yeah?
That was hard. That was a hard fucking watch.
Brutal, Colin. Absolutely brutal. Aye, it was painful. You know what I mean? We played some good football. You know, we got an early goal. Borna Banisic's overlapping, getting good balls into the box. Yeah. Tony goals used to be getting one goal again. That's him getting two again now. But aye, generally we're hanging on, crapping ourselves to beat a team that's not got a manager and has been got 9-0 by the other mob. So it was a pretty honking day all round, and I don't know, we've gone from being really tense that we might get gubbed by a record score at Parkhead and a record score in Europe and Amsterdam to being, I hope we can get something out of this game with Napoli for like 85 minutes, to being really tense that we're going to drop points to Dundee United. So technically, you know, the tension's kind of improving the end result, but you wanted a much bigger reaction than what we got in the corner. It was about as bad as you can get while still getting all 3 points.
There was an incident before the game which we'll come in and talk about with a minute's silence, but we'll talk about that later. But the team, you know, when I seen the team today, I mean, I was quite pleased to see Leon King and Charlie McCann get a shout. You know, I think they've deserved a chance. But some of the other players that are in that team at the moment, you know, and the lack of new signings that are in the teams at the moment, is a fucking real concern, isn't it?
It is, mate, it is. And listen, look, if it's just a case of all these guys, there are injuries, these things happen, but I just think, and I'm very loath, as you know, to go and just blame one person, you know, because I want to go at Ross Wilson just now for something that's going as bad as it's going just now. I don't actually know what it is. That seems to be the most obvious kind of scenario. It's the lack of new signings coming through. You know, I was pleased, like yourself, pleased to see the young boys getting a game. I think it was a bit of a comment, both McCann and King, a bit of a wee comment on James Sands, you know, who can play both positions, but you know, had a hard old game before he got sent off the other night. A bigger comment I thought on Ben Davies, because we're obviously I'm assuming we're getting Leon King fit for Anfield. Ben Davies can be coming through for that, and maybe I also was a bit Tillman, who's blown hot and cold, you know. But I thought in a game like today, I was a bit surprised maybe Tillman wasn't starting, and we've got young Charlie McCann, and I thought Leon King did really well, you know. And Charlie McCann, it was a bad game to be playing in. You know, we weren't firing all cylinders. He needed a lot more backup for the more senior players. He had a few kind of bad touches and what have you, but he's just a young boy and he's a cracking prospect. But we're at a situation where I think the malaise, it's very much a first team malaise, could end up, you know, costing a boy like Charlie McCann some confidence. You know, we're not blaming him for what happened.
No. I thought he'd done okay. I mean, you're right, there was a few sort of bad touches, and especially in the box, he had a couple of chances to score and just too many touches and all that.
But at least he was going for it. You know, he's trying to, which a lot of them weren't.
Yeah, but it's a use of the other players, and you know, we genuinely do need to look at Ross Wilson in this, because you know, it would appear to me as an observer looking at the team every week that Gio just doesn't trust the players that have come in the summer, because he just seems reluctant to use them.
He does, and I think it's going even beyond that. I think I'm not one of these folk who wants to see like a clear identity that I can understand, and there's a lot I can understand now. You know, there's a lot of football philosopher type managers going on just now with a clear philosophy. You know, and because we Celtic doing so well just now, we automatically start looking over there. I'm not bothered about me clearly understanding the philosophy that Rangers have got, but we just don't look as if we understand the philosophy we've got right now. When Scott Wright come on today, he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing, you know. And I know Scott Wright's a guy who can, you know, we're a bit snobby, I think, sometimes with signings from other Scottish clubs, but and I think Scott Wright has a harder time he deserves it. But today, and also the way he was kind of sometimes linking up with Tillman, sometimes it wasn't happening. There seems to be a kind of malaise going through all the players. If you're just going to rely on the senior players, if you're just going to rely on the signings that were here, you know, before Gio arrived, we can still do that better than what we're doing just now. So there's something wrong, mate. I don't know what it is.
I mean, on Gio as well, is it we're reaching a time when serious questions need to be asked about.
See if he'd equalised today, you're thinking, this changes this wee pod that we're doing. You know what I mean? I find it difficult to believe that we're a guy who got us to a European final.
We're having this conversation about it.
He won his first Scottish Cup in 13 years, first European final since 2008. Only fifth in our history, really. And let's be honest, 55 maybe skewed things in terms of the comeback. That's our second best league finish in 12 years. That's not Rangers. We don't judge ourselves that way, but no, I find it difficult to believe that if Dundee United equalised today, and they so easily could have, we could be having the conversation about Gio right now, and a lot of people will be listening to saying that and thinking it's no Gio's fault. It's Ross Wilson. It's whoever it is. But it just seems like the players have lost. They've lost more than the lack of new signings coming through would seem to indicate. You know what I mean? There seems to be something really kind of far wrong.
It's the tempo. I just don't understand. It's so slow. The body language of the players is so off. No one looks like they're enjoying playing in this team at the moment.
They don't, mate.
And it is really grim. And you would have to say, if we perform like that for the rest of the season, we are not winning anything.
No. As I say, that's Dundee United. We know how bad they are right now. And that was just absolutely horrendous. This wasn't good enough. Especially, I think it's even worse when we get the early goal that we've been craving domestically. We got the early reaction the other night against Napoli, and I still think that was a great performance the other night. And we're looking to make that the confidence, the slight boost in confidence we got from the performance against Napoli. We're looking for sort of a concrete kind of result for that today. In terms of not just getting the 3 points, but a good performance. Yeah. And to get the early goal and then get back into that lackadaisical. You start taking your foot off the gas. It's really difficult to get it going again. Yeah. And to do it after 10 minutes, we come out and it's almost like the half-time break is why we get a quick goal in the second half as well. And it's like 2-0. Now we can do something here, and we can't wait to concede a goal to get us back to the slow grind that we seem more comfortable with.
Aye, it's a hard watch. It really is, and you're fearful for where Rangers season is going this season because. We just don't look on it at all. As I said, there seems to be, the body language of the players. Everything points to just a lack of belief in what they're being asked to do.
I mean, we're talking about Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos. That's the talk of Twitter. They're lacking a contract extension, the two of them. And we're looking. I think Tav, in terms of practical terms, I think when James Tavernier isn't fully fit, the whole team suffers. I think Tav is integral. He's with rhythm section. He just gets the whole team going. And when Tav's no fully at it, I think we did that the other night against Napoli. I think we actually put 3 men across the back, as much to stop Napoli in the way they played against Liverpool in the first game, as to make sure there was a basis there for Tav to operate up front to cover him at the back because he couldn't bomb on the same. But I thought Borna Barisic was great today.
I would say an argument. I mean, I know Cholak got the 2 goals, but I would say there's an argument to say he was man of the match today.
Aye, absolutely. And you've got Tony goals now. He was getting 1 goal a game, and now he's getting 2 goals a game. He's kind of like one new Chris Boyd almost. Maybe not going to get the nod in Europe. I think he had 6 games in the Champions League last season. Malmo, I don't think he scored a single goal in the Champions League group stages. So maybe this is working out. That's the way he should be. He should be that kind of domestic striker. And he's great at it. And I love the big guy. That's great. But there wasn't a lot else, Colin. I thought there's some sort of malaise I keep saying, and the reason I keep repeating it is because I don't know what it is, and I don't know why it's happened so suddenly.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It's worrying times. On to the incident prior to the game. So the minute silence. I missed it. I was 2 or 3 minutes late getting into the game today because of the bulge in here. Started a new job, so I never got home at the back of one. So we were kind of late getting in, but just as I came out the subway, I heard the roar. It was obviously the reaction to the sort of minute silence, and then I was maybe checking Twitter and it was coming up, and I saw Jordan Campbell had put that they'd booed the minute silence, sang the way through it, and basically just
desecration.
I mean, like see when it comes to monarchy and all that kind of stuff, I know people have got different opinions, right? And I get that, and I respect that. But even if you're anti-monarchy, even if you're anti-anything, you can't be quiet for 60 seconds. What kind of a fucking scumbag are you?
You're besmirching your own cause. You're just, and I don't think these guys have got a cause. look, it's not the most difficult thing in the world to maintain silence for a minute, but it's so much easier to disrupt it, you know, and it's just a cheap, childish, pathetic move that just reflects on the people that were indulging in it. Listen, Colin, when John Paul II died, you know, there was, I think, Hearts fans booing through a minute's silence for the Pope at Hampden and what have you, and we've got this whole pathetic binary, we're the Queen and they're the Pope kind of thing going on in Scotland, which is just we just need to grow out of completely. It's just a basic act of respect. I think there's a question about. We knew this was going to happen. There was no, to me, it was always going to happen, and maybe 2 minute silences on the trot was too much, you know. But the Rangers support want to show their respect to a fantastic Queen. And I think it was just, it was horrible, but it was totally predictable.
I think, I've got to be honest with you, I think if Dundee United are playing any other club today, that doesn't happen. I think it's linked to who they're playing.
I think if they're playing any other club in Scotland just now, that might be even a minute silence. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, we used to be we were the establishment, and you know, it was just pure wee Celtic were the rebels. I think the way things are now politically, especially in Scotland, devolved government and all that, we're very much the rebels. You know what I mean? We're the kind of outliers just now. You know, it's a bit of a cultural change.
Yeah, as what I say. So a strange day at Ibrox, 3 points, but not incredibly enjoyable, I don't think.
Not at all. Not in any way. Thank God it's the international break.
Yeah, that's it. So we're off next weekend.
We are, mate.
That's good. Got a wee break here. Anyway, so we'll have a show out tomorrow night at 9:30. I can't remember who's presenting. I think it might be Scott. I can't remember off the back of my head. But tune into that at 9:30. Obviously no preview show next week because there's no game, but we'll have a show out on Sunday next week as well. So until next week, guys. Bye for now.